Okay, so here's the full playbook with you know, the rocks, the grains, the ground plane and the ship. So let's check it out. I also started it from frame 80 instead of frame 100 because I want to have a little anticipation before the ship emerges. So we might have to redo some camera keyframes as well to make sure the camera moves on frame 80 and not on frame 100. So let's check it out. Okay, so this is just to see if we are happy with our camera movement. And I think it looks great. So one thing I'm gonna change is start the camera movement at frame 80. So we have this little build up here, 2 seconds. So we're probably only gonna do the Z space movement. So it dollies back from frame 80. And then I think it would be cool if a rock hits us in the face at the end. So for instance, maybe this rock or this rock, it would be cool if it comes straight at us and then we end a little bit earlier. So maybe on frame 260 or something. So let's try and see if we can make that happen. Okay, let's make sure our timeline starts at frame 80 and let's go to that frame. And this still is going to take a few seconds, and because even though we're not simulating, it still has to load these huge cache files from the grains. Okay, and let's take a look at our camera here. So we select our camera and we want to change the translate settings, the keyframes here. So we want to move them over to frame 80. So we can shift click, select all of the keyframes and moving them to frame 80 here. Like this. Now, when we scrub through this is still gonna be loading. So let's make sure that it doesn't by putting the view on our geometry spreadsheet instead of our scene view here. Okay, so now we're fine. So let's go back to our translate here. And yeah, so these now start at frame 80, so that's fine. Let's also look at our graph. And I basically want to check if all of our keyframes are, you know, straight. So not in a Bezier or an easy ease out, easy ease in. So let's find our blue one here. So this one has an ease out and I want to get rid of that. So let's just make it a constant speed. So we'll grab the handle here and we'll point to the next keyframe. And we'll take this handle and we'll point to the previous keyframe. Okay. So now this is gonna move at a constant speed from frame 80 to frame 275. Okay, so we fixed our translate. Maybe we want to change the value of our Z keyframe a bit because we're basically moving the same distance but over a longer period of time. So let's bring the camera in a bit closer at the start. That's a bit extreme. And let's see at what value it has at frame 100. So we started at 18. Okay, so at frame 100 it only has a value of 16.6, so we overdid it. So let's change this to 17.2. And now when we go to frame 100, it's almost 18. So maybe 17.5. So now it's gonna basically move at the same speed before we move the keyframes to frame 80. Okay, and let's also do this to our rotation keyframes. So let's drag and drop these from 100 to 80. Okay, like this. Okay. Let's go to our scene view and let's turn off our render grains and our ground plane. So turn this one off, turn this one off. Okay, and let's try if we can find a rock at the end that could hit us in the face. That would be cool. Before we do that, however, let's just duplicate our camera so we can go back to the old one if we screw up all of our keyframes and stuff. So let's go to frame 256-ish and let's go out of our camera, press G. So here's our camera. Okay, so let's look for, let's see if any rocks come close. So we have a couple of rocks. Probably this one over here comes closest to the camera. So let's move our camera to that position. So we'll use the translate here. So we'll move it to the front. So if you scrub through this now, you will lose your keyframe, so don't do that. And we need to move to the left. So probably something like this. So let's add this keyframe. Let's look through it. So camera 1. Okay, so we're pretty close, but not close enough. So let's move this keyframe a bit, like so. And we'll get to center this rock in our frame. Maybe we just want to have it past the camera. That would be cool as well. Instead of just hitting it smack in the face. So something like this maybe. Let's move the camera a bit more to the front. Okay, so this is looking pretty cool. But of course we are moving a lot to the side now. So let's use these translate keyframes on the other ones as well. So we have -2 on the X. Yeah, let's do 1.25 on the Y. So let's take a look at our other keyframes here. So the one here. So 1.2. What was the X value? -2. So let's do -2. And I'm gonna move our keyframes here. I'm gonna move them to frame 260, and then we'll just end our render over there. So move these to frame 260, and I could delete, or maybe I'll just end our timeline here. So 260. Okay, let's do a flipbook. So let's do session 2, 80 to 260, and let's start. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so this is looking pretty cool as well. So I'm just gonna play with these keyframes a bit more to get something a little bit better looking. And I'm probably gonna play with the X rotation a bit, and maybe take a bit of a wider angle lens. And then we can compare what we had before and this new camera movement, and then we can choose the best one. Okay, so I made these 3 different camera animations. The one on the top left is the one we started with, so this is the one we created first. And this is the one where the rock almost hits the camera. And then I made another variant with a side-to-side dolly movement. And these are all pretty nice. So yeah, it's hard to pick really from these 3 cameras. I'm probably gonna go with the second one, and I'm going to, you know, do some more adjustments, and I'm also going to play around with our scene overall. So I'm gonna move around some rocks a little bit, make them a little bit bigger or smaller, and then I'll come back to you with my final playbook of the whole scene.